Alright, so we got some progress done on the roof. Sam went and made up the top cap. It's a basic shape right now. Still needs to be adjusted a little bit, but figured we could start working on that. Start getting some panels made up. Most of the supports are in. I still want to do some more on the roof. And we could pop these out. But it's looking pretty good so far. Alright, so I figured before I start making up any more brackets and mounts, supports, I'm going to make the end plates here pretty close. I end up making 4 of these. Obviously they got to get trimmed up and, you know, fit in there properly, but that's basically how it'll look. Like I said, I get 4 of those. One here, one on this side. And then probably give it like a 1-inch flat piece following this whole curve. And when we go and make up our panel, we got something we can attach it to. So that's kind of how I'm gonna do that one, I think. So I'll make up 3 more of these and then go from there. So coming along. Alright, so originally James Young used wood in their center pillars, and then they took aluminum and just made a cap and went right over it. So since I cut the pillar in half, 2 pillars, 1 cap, so I'm going to cut this in half and I'll use this for both ends. And at least that'll kind of keep it more original looking. So that's what I'll be doing. Alright. Alright, so basically now we got our pillar caps again. This still needs to get pulled over. So I'll get filled in, sealed up. So I am going to keep the original wood under here. I mean, it's not rotting out. It's solid. It'll get fastened to the steel. I mean, they use it from the factory. I'll use it now. All right, so pretty much just making up the border for where the glass is going to sit. Gonna come off of here with a small plate so that window can get glued. So gonna try to match it exactly how the door is, same distance. This we'll get a cap. We're gonna make another cap to go over here, wrap around the whole thing, just like original. And then, like I said, we'll get a border going all the way around so we could glue that new piece of glass in there, seal everything up. And then we'll go ahead and go around it with chrome or stainless trim, so it'll look just like factory. Match the same style, match the same design. All right, so I'm gonna work a little bit on making up this new panel here. Bring it over to the bead roller. We're gonna temp this lip right here, this body line. But instead of aluminum, I'm going to tempt it on 18 gauge sheet metal. This way I figured it'd just be easier to weld into place. Rolls Royce actually from the factory, the standard cars, the standard saloons they call them, the bodies were all steel and the doors were aluminum. This whole car just happens to be aluminum, so it wouldn't really hurt if I decided to put one panel out of steel. I mean, it'll work. So we'll get that all set up and try it out. Sped up, so. There's the second line. So like I said, that's pretty much the first step. Might have to even go a little bit deeper of a bend. It's no big deal, I can just put it back in there. get a bigger step. And then, like I said, adjust it by hand later. All right, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, pretty much the gist of it. Just run that rail all the way down, follow these lines. Obviously, you're still gonna have to do all these bends and get everything right, but it's pretty close. I'm probably not even going to use this piece. This was literally just the first test piece I did, but you know, because there's a couple things wrong, like the sheet is cut kind of crooked, and I need to address that. But you know, gives you guys an idea. We'll practice run. These lines, the channel line is pretty easy because it's just straight. There's no curve, nothing. So these lines right here are the ones that we're gonna have to probably come back to here, maybe here, and then just kind of manipulate, lift it up a little bit, and then flow it back. So this way everything looks good, because everything's on a curve, and when you cut it, you just split it in half. You give it just a flat edge. It's not gonna look right unless you kind of manipulate those lines a little bit. So that's what we're gonna end up doing. And my plan is, unless something changes, I'm probably gonna take this line right here. I'm probably just going to continue it and add it onto here, and then just eliminate it from here, smooth all that out. But just kind of thinking out loud, not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. But there you have it. So I ended up making a whole new piece, a much smaller piece. Realistically, a lot of times when I do like sheets like that, I like to do it all in one piece. Like if I can, I'll definitely try to just do everything all in one shot. And I could have with that big sheet, but it's just such a pain to work with. You saw me over there on the roller just trying to get everything all straight and keeping it from falling all over the place. So I figured, you know what, I gotta redo the sheet anyway. Let me just do a smaller piece. I redid the channel here, got a little bit deeper. Got the basic bends. This is kind of where the lines are gonna go. This is the original line, and it comes up maybe a couple inches, inch and a half. It's looking pretty good. Obviously, everything has to get adjusted still, but you know, it's looking pretty good so far. Pretty straight. This will have to be bent, concave to match, but I like the way it's coming out. This will get bent around. I'm gonna follow this curvature just higher, and then we'll flow it back. See how all that looks when we're at that point. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. It's looking pretty good. And we're gonna get it really, really close. And then, you know, any little spots, any little imperfections, you know, that's what body filler's for. Key is to get as close as you can, and then you could use some Bondo. You know, skim coats of Bondo are okay. You know, when you got to do a 3/4 inch of Bondo, that's a problem. But it's looking good.